Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City Chiefs. The game of the week. The Chiefs come in favored by 2.5 points. I'm going to get into the fantasy football projections. I'm going to get into game projections. I'm going to get into game computer picks and all that good stuff. Before I get rolling, I want everybody to comment below. What is your pick? What is your prediction for the score of this game? Will the Kansas City Chiefs win? Will they cover the spread? Will the Buffalo Bills come in and quote-unquote upset the Kansas City Chiefs? I don't think Bills fans would think that would be an upset, but will they do that? Comment below with your score projection. Let's get into the fantasy football projections for the week. We'll start with the visiting team, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen projects at an even 35.0 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs are giving up points. That's reality, everybody. And Josh Allen, outside of that week 1 game where he was a little rusty against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills have been moving the ball and scoring a lot of points. However, not to say the Kansas City Chiefs are their biggest test of the year, but the Kansas City Chiefs game is probably their biggest test of the year. Even at 2-2, the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, are improving. We'll get into that later. At running back, Devin Singletary at 12.14 points. I have Zach Moss getting into the end zone against the Kansas City Chiefs at 17.89 points. Zach Moss, for the second week in a row, is my preferred running back for the Buffalo Bills. It goes back and forth based on matchup. At wide receiver, I have Stephon Diggs at a 20.91 points. That is a touchdown projection for Stephon Diggs. I have Emmanuel Sanders at a 16.37. That is a touchdown projection for Emmanuel Sanders. Cole Beasley at an 8.41. That does not get him into the end zone. And then Gabriel Davis bringing up the rear at 2.41 points. Not a great projection on him. Dawson Knox, however, I also have getting into the end zone. He's been on fire. I don't think he's a guy like, say, a Travis Kelce that's going to get you, 20 to 20. He's not going to be the guy that's moving the chains all the time. But when you're the Buffalo Bills, and you can throw the ball to Devin Singletary. You can run the ball with Zach Moss and, by the way, Josh Allen. You can throw the ball to Stephon Diggs. You can throw the ball to Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders. Dawson Knox is going to be wide open in the end zone a bunch of times, as he is in this picture here. And Dawson Knox is going crazy this young fantasy season. If you watch my waiver wire pickup, he was available for you this week. He probably is no longer available in your league. Let's move to the Kansas City Chiefs. I have Patrick Mahomes at an 18.11. That is not a start grade in terms of my computer projections. That's probably bottom half of the league. Now, I have a couple of rules in fantasy football. One of those rules is to always start Patrick Mahomes at an 18.11. Look, my computer projections have seen what the Bills defense has done. And it's seen that Kansas City, look, outside of maybe last week, Kansas City, it's not a Mahomes issue, but the Kansas City's just not as electric as they have been. Chiefs fans, you can comment below and dispute that, but that's what I'm seeing. I know a lot of people, a lot of analysts, a lot of people that, let's say don't watch as many games as I watch, are probably a little bit down on the Chiefs. I'm not down on them. They just don't have the same electricity, but I'm confident they'll get it back. Either way, 18.11, my point is Patrick Mahomes, I think he will beat the projection. Usually I include 2 running backs. This week I am not. Well, at least I should say for the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not. With respect to Williams, I think this is all about Clyde Edwards-Helaire at a 9.39, what this is telling me. And I know the Kansas City Chiefs are running the ball a lot better than they have in the last year or so, ever since probably Kareem Hunt even left the organization. They're moving the ball on the ground. But the Buffalo Bills run defense is better than you think it is. Don't take it for granted. I know they'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. I am very curious. This is one of the things, honestly, I'm curious to see what happens. This might be the best running team that the Bills have faced. The Pittsburgh Steelers stuck to the run. They didn't get a lot of yards, but they stuck to the run. It wasn't a great yards per carry day. This is the day. I want to see if Edwards-Helaire, is he going to still be able to get that high yards per carry average? I'm curious. I tend to think the Bills will be able to stop him on the ground. I think this is a receiver game, however. Tyreek Hill, we always know that he's the emphasis of the opposing defense, or at least usually he is. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they decided, hey, let's try to bottle up Kelce a little bit more, and Tyreek Hill throws up 3 touchdowns. That's what happens when you don't put 3 people on Tyreek Hill at all times. He is maybe the biggest difference maker at the wide receiver position. In fact, let me just go ahead and stamp it and say, yes, he is absolutely the biggest difference maker at the wide receiver position in the NFL. At a 16.4, that is a touchdown projection for Tyreek Hill. Now you have Mecole Hardman at a 5.51. You have Demarcus Robinson at a 6.55. And then I have ... question mark for Josh Gordon. If he's even active, you could throw Byron Pringle in here. Here's my thing on the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is why I think their electricity is gone this year. Sammy Watkins leaving, I didn't think it was the biggest deal. I don't even think Chiefs fans thought it was the biggest deal, or maybe even still don't think it's the biggest deal. But I was surprised that they didn't replace him with anything. Now, they had other holes to fill, namely on the offensive line and this and that, right? We know, and their emphasis on the run it's working, okay? It's working. But my thing is, I don't like McCole Hardman or Demarcus Robinson being the split receiver opposite Tyreek Hill. I think they operate better in different positions. So when Sammy Watkins left, he's not wowing anybody. He's in Baltimore. He's not wowing anybody, but he's just good enough that you can't ignore him. So you slide some coverage his way to make sure he doesn't burn you. And Sammy Watkins, I think, has had a 3-touchdown game or two. You slide enough over, suddenly Kelsey's a little bit more open. Suddenly Tyreek Hill is a little bit more open. And those things tend to happen. Now, they lost that little piece, and I think defenses are able to basically just roll their coverage over to Tyreek Hill, at least everybody except for the Eagles anyway, right? But bottom line is, if Josh Gordon if he can figure it out and stay on the field, and I don't know if it's going to be week 5, we don't know, but if he can stay on the field, I think even having been outside of football and all that stuff, he's going to be just good enough. And by the way, I think he's going to be better than Sammy Watkins. He'll be good enough to roll coverage off of Kelsey and off of Hill, and we're going to see the Kansas City Chiefs go on a big run as we end the year. So I have 2 big questions for the Kansas City Chiefs. 1, how much is Gordon going to play this week? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's why I have a question mark there. 2 is that matchup between Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the Buffalo Bills defense. It's just fascinating. I cannot wait to see it. At the tight end position, a 14.11 for Travis Kelce. For him, that's kind of a low projection. And it's funny because when you compare his computer projection to the computer projection of Dawson Knox, Travis Kelce is actually behind Knox. Would I actually play Dawson Knox over Travis Kelce? Will I actually have that decision this weekend? And the answer is no. I'm playing Travis Kelce. You play your stars, for crying out loud. Let's get to the projections. My pick for this game. This is my pick when I wrote down my pick and what I'm going to do against the spread. I picked Buffalo to win this game on the road 32-27. The reason I did that is, like I said, I think the Buffalo Bills defensive line will be able to stand up to the Kansas City Chiefs running game. I think the Buffalo Bills secondary is very nice. I think they're going to be able to do all they can to try to contain. You cannot stop Tyreek Hill. You can contain him a little bit. I don't think he's going to go nuts. And then they'll let Travis Kelce, he's going to get his licks in. Now, if Josh Gordon is like everything that the hype right now and all the news outlets are saying that, hey, he looks great. If he is that, we might have a different game. But like I said, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills 32-27. Computer projections like Buffalo even more than that, 35-24. Though to be honest with you, Kansas City, like I said, they just haven't been themselves. They are an elite team. They're playing like an above average team, okay? They're great. They should be, and this should be really a preview of the AFC Championship game. I believe that this is the preview of the AFC Championship game, although I think the Buffalo Bills will be at home. That's how I'm seeing it right now. So there you go. Comment below with your score prediction. Do you like the Chiefs? Do you like the Chiefs plus points? What is your score prediction? Why am I wrong? Chiefs fans, why am I a moron? You tell me why I'm an idiot. Buffalo Bills fans, tell me why I'm the greatest and most smartest analyst in the world. I've been on the Buffalo Bills since a couple of years ago. You gotta love it, right? We've been giving the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen and Brian Dable and that whole offense a lot of love. The defense is back with a vengeance. These are, honestly, guys, I've been saying it, these are my top 2 teams in the AFC. They're 2 of my favorite teams to watch. I'm actually not a fan of either of these teams, but I love to watch them because their offenses are just so much fun. I mean, this is what I enjoy watching football. I don't like to watch the 9-7 game. I don't like to watch the 4-3 game where it's all safeties and field goals, for crying out loud. I want to see a 35-24. I want to see a 32-27. Heck, give me a 38-42. Give me a lot of points. That's what I want to see, and I think that's what America wants to see as well. Like I said, again, everybody, comment below with your score predictions. We'll be back with some more previews soon.